Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
This is the show where we break down a comic book by its basic elements of writing and story and tell you what we thought about it. Today, we reviewed Detective Comics number 951. There are a lot of issues of Detective Comics. I'm glad they went back to the renumbering. I'm looking forward to issue 1000 in like 50 weeks.
Well, it is
like
cool.
That. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm legitimately... I know it's hard to distinguish
yeah,
my
really
sarcasm
can't tell
and
when you're being
enthusiasm,
sarcastic.
I legitimately can't wait for issue 1000. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, at the end of the episode, we'll give you our recommendations of books that are coming out this week on Wednesday. Initial thoughts for Detective Comics number 951. You want me to kick it off?
Sure.
I liked it. It is written by James Tynion IV with art by Christian Duce Fernandez. I liked the book.
I didn't look at the artist.
Well,
name.
I did, and
Sorry.
that's the man's name.
Il Duce?
See. I liked it, and I like the overall dynamic of the Bat family, but something is beginning to happen, and it's something that I was worried about happening, and so I think it's finally starting to come to fruition. There's a lot of people in the Bat family. You might even say there's too many people in the Bat family. You might even say, yeah, and you might even say that like Scott Snyder addressed this during the beginning of his run on Batman with Death of the Family, where Joker's like, too many of you guys.
Yeah.
It's distracting from the fact that there's like this main character called Batman that everyone really wants to read about, especially me, the Joker.
Right.
I'm not arguing there's not enough Batman, but I am saying that I feel like if you have such a large assortment of characters, you have to be able to juggle them in a great way. X-Men, that's a problem too for some writers, but some writers know how to handle a huge cast. This is a cast of like 6 or 7 people, and I feel like some characters are getting marginalized. So, I mean, you know what I mean? That's just my feeling. I feel like there's greater emphasis on certain characters, namely Orphan Cassandra Cain and Kathy Kane, Batwoman, no relation, over people like that are kind of crazy to think are part of the Bat family, like Clayface.
Yeah.
Or Asriel, who I think should be dead. But, you know, what do I know?
Right. Well, I guess, okay, there's like two schools of thought for this one. One being that they're just doing this, and then like if they make it, they will, of course, like eventually put emphasis on those characters. You know what I mean? Like how like
yeah, like they'll have story arcs that are specifically about Clayface.
Yeah, exactly, and like you know,
which is cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Kate Kane's is like coming out around the same time her Rebirth had just, you know what I mean? Like so they got us all really interested in Batwoman again if you weren't already, you know, and then they have her book. But her story's still tied into this, so they can't just dismiss that.
No.
My other school of thought is it's the horror movie school of thought, where we meet a whole cast of characters who are there to die for us because just the main character and maybe his girlfriend/boyfriend will
make it out.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Drake didn't make it out of this title. I mean, he's still alive and he's dead in the eyes. But Ben, what did you think?
I'm not a fan of this episode.
No?
Episode?
I'm sorry.
I'm not a fan of this issue.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't like the fact that Batman is being made to look foolish and pretty rash. I feel Batman should be making decisions and, you know, being smarter than he's being right now. I thought the writing was interesting. You know the character I really liked? Whoever was in the prison.
Oh, the dad. Oh,
yeah.
that's
Kate Kane's dad.
Yeah.
I thought he was very good. He was just like, you have to listen to me.
He had an arc before this.
In which he's kind of a lunatic.
Yeah.
But he's a loving father, I guess. Kind of.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I get that impression.
Yeah.
I believe his enthusiasm.
Yeah. You know, if you read that Batwoman Rebirth issue.
I did not.
No. He's you know, at the beginning of every arc, I feel like, even if the person's been on a book for a bit, like, it's difficult to judge where they're going with it, you know what I mean? Because, like, Batman's written weirdly in this book, but that could be for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, I find it hard to believe that in this day and age, that like we're writing Batman for, that those cops acted that way. For me, that's the weird part of that scene.
Well, and maybe they're part of the League of Shadows.
Right? Like, that could be. But, like, for 2 cops to show up and be like, Batman killed this guy.
Easily.
I'm sorry, how long has Batman been Batman?
Yeah, and I'm sure there's also documented evidence that proves that Batman and the mayor have been working together for some time.
So, yeah, but that's just so we could kill him with bat swords.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his MO.
Yeah. So, like,
if he won't kill the Joker, he's not going to kill the mayor.
Right? So for me, like, Batman was a little weird in that scene, but the cops were weirder, and I felt like initially I was like, why is Batman doing this? He's like, you know, he's totally,
like an amateur.
Yeah, but then I was like, at the same time, he's in this. Like, he already knows that these idiots have overreacted.
Yes.
Like, he is already like
they're not going to listen to reason now.
No, and like while he may not have been playing the correct chess game or the correct move, he was playing the game in his head essentially, where he's trying to think ahead.
All right.
But like I just thought those cops were really bizarre, and like it's funny, like this whole story is you know, takes place during this like calm period.
Yeah.
You know, and like if you've ever been like in like a rocky part of your life or whatever, anytime that there's something that feels normal or safe or whatever, sometimes you're waiting for that shoe to drop, and
yes.
I feel like that's Batman all the time.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't trust a calm moment.
Right, exactly. So I think like he's super on edge. I think I don't know if he's making bad calls. I can't tell.
Well, they're playing the long game because over in other titles,
yeah,
Batman is preparing for some unseen war. And no one else can really understand or judge why Batman is making these like huge plays. So I formulated the Justice League of America because he's preparing for something. And so when Kathy is like, it's chill, let's all take a break. He's like, this is not the time for a break.
Maybe he's playing a different game. Maybe his game is he figured out that Tim Drake isn't dead and he's trying to get to where he is.
Right, he's like waiting for like Mr. Oz to make his play.
Yeah.
That could be.
Like he's trying to get on the inside.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And he's trying to train the Bat family so that they're ready to take over in his stead while he's gone.
That would be smart. Because also, don't forget that in the end of I Am Gotham, Tom King lays the groundwork where he says that Batman's going to die.
Yeah.
Again. For the third time. So, what'd you think of the art for this issue? I guess since it's the trend where I started, I thought it was fine. There were no issues where I was like, that sucks. It's what I come to expect from this title.
It's competent.
It's fine.
Yeah. No problems.
No, it's very, like, I hate saying this, but it's like very comic book. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's what you might expect to see inside of a comic book.
But not like a 1940s, like, stupid comic book.
No, nor like a 1990s, like you know,
terrible comic book.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to say standard because that feels like we're marginalizing it.
Yeah, because we're not.
No, it's consistent. It's a consistently fine book. Yeah. It's a good title.
Better to be that than to have me go, I had a problem with the color.
Yeah. How was the coloring, by the way?
It was very par for the course.
Okay. I guess that's all we can really expect from Tiffany.
Clayface's teeth are creepy.
Yes, they are.
But in a way that really works for him.
Yeah, but they always are, so I'll take it.
Do you ever think about the fact that he has to form those?
Oh, I figure they're just part of him. Like, one of the last few parts of actual...
Yeah, because they worked on...
But he's clay.
Right.
What about his eyes, then?
I don't know, right? Does his brain know how to, like, formulate, like, you know, like neurons and like a nervous system from clay that fires off like through synapse?
I guess it has to be. What if he just stuck them on afterwards?
Yeah,
he'd
they're
like
not,
grab
they're
some
vestigial.
rocks and he's just like pop pop pop.
There, teeth.
Oh, I thought you meant like his eyes, and I was like googly eyes.
Yeah, he can't see anything. He sees by touch and smell.
Yeah,
I really want someone to punch him really hard.
He's
now.
like tough. It's the vibrations in the ground. He can feel.
Yeah, he's like, the eyes are for your benefit. And so you have an eye line to look at.
Otherwise, I just look like a giant dump.
It's true.
Nobody wants that. Yeah, no, I assumed he has to form those teeth. They're just hard clay.
Right.
Which is like...
I could see that.
Which is like, dude, look in the mirror and try a little harder.
No.
It's hard! So,
I'm trying to look like a man right now. I'm a giant blob monster. It's not working.
Can
we touch on real quick the fact that they stole the scene from Batman 1989 where the reporters are dying on TV?
Yeah, that was straight from the movie.
Okay.
It was just, you're not as big a fan of the 89 Batman, but yeah, that was from the movie.
Well, thanks for opening me up for that barrage.
Oh, whatever.
Well, I wouldn't say not necessarily a fan.
You were like, Heath Ledger's overrated.
No.
Like you were off camera. So
what? I did not
Tiffany,
say that.
That's rough.
She will not stop talking about how Heath Ledger's overrated. Iron Man 1 is
like
subpar,
the worst movie that they made,
and that Thor: The Dark World is underrated.
I really hate you both right now.
Anyway, can we recommend Detective Comics?
Wait,
951?
none of that was true. I just want to...
It's okay, it's not
it isn't evident from my sarcasm, which apparently is also not evident. Yes, you're a fan of all those things that I said you weren't a fan of, and not a fan of the things that I said you were a fan of. Can we recommend Detective Comics number 951? Is it something that you should pick up? I mean, oh, by the way, Lady Shiva's in it. That's cool. This is part 1 of a new arc, so it's like,
yeah.
But can you recommend this issue? Ben?
Not yet.
Tiffany?
What do you mean not yet? You can't...
Well, like, he's saying, like,
I think
wait for the whole damn thing to be finished.
I think this might work as an overall story.
Yeah, but
this
like,
did
this
not
chapter
hook
was...
me yet.
Yeah.
You didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, so no from Ben, basically, for right now.
Right, well,
Yeah,
but
not yet.
maybe it goes someplace awesome.
Exactly.
We'll wait until issue 1000.
A year from now, I'll be like, you know what? 951 was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and recommend it.
I think as a jumping on point, it's an interesting jumping on point.
Yeah,
Because
because it's in the middle of everything.
It's in the middle of everything. It's the start of a new arc, but like it's really entrenched in things. And I was really fortunate to A, have been reading some of it up to this point, and B, to be doing the pull, because I was like, I knew a lot of what was happening, but I was like, wow, coming into this, you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
But I mean,
fair.
like, if you're reading Tom King's Batman, I think you should absolutely be reading this as well, because I think it's just an interesting study to see how much they are going to be coinciding with one another.
That's funny, because I think that if you're reading Tom King's Batman, you won't have to read this at all, because I don't think Tom King's reading this book. I don't think Tom King gives a shit
See now,
about what's happening in anyone else's
I'm
book.
over here thinking that this Batman is preparing for...
I mean, they're all preparing, only because Tom King got the editorial note that says, like, make him prepare for stuff.
Okay, so wait. So in Tom King's Batman, he's going up against Bane, and
Yes.
in this one, he's going up against
The League of Shadows.
So they can't both kill him.
No. He's got to die from something else.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's going to die.
Except, yeah, more like Mr. Oz is going to grab him.
But they'll still see that he dies.
That's true.
Or he'll just, travel back in time again. And
Oh, no!
live another life as
Yeah.
Batman throughout history.
I recommend this book only if you don't have a lot of items in your pull list.
Yeah.
This is a frustratingly disposable series, because I think it's a great, standard, good read.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's essential, and I don't think that... I think there are bigger purchases to be made.
That's fair, and
I don't want to dismiss it, though.
No, and it's difficult sometimes when you have a book where the character is in another book that is probably going to be more in line with like controlling or dictating what's happening.
That's the thing.
But like at the very least, you do get the rest of the Bat team. Now, of course, like Batwoman just got her own book too.
Right.
So
So if you don't want to buy Batwoman, this is the book to buy.
yeah, but do buy Batwoman because the Rebirth issue was great.
It's true.
And if you want to read about any other characters like Orphan or Clayface,
You're only going to get them in this series. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's the Justice League effect. If you want to read about Batman, but you only have money for one book,
Right.
you would buy Batman.
yeah, or buy this because you get, for the price of Batman, you also get Clayface and Orphan and Nazriel and like everybody.
Batwoman and
Yeah, you get all these different characters for the price of one.
Yeah, but it dilutes the pot.
Ah, well, that's a matter of opinion.
Bat related, but not DC Bat related. I really enjoyed the Belfry that I read last
Oh,
week.
yeah?
It was the Image one shot.
Right. It was a one-shot. We'll never
It was a
discuss
horror
it again.
one shot.
Like
Cool.
one issue period done
That's
over.
it. Yeah, it's done by the guy. He's written other comic books. He's drawn other comic books. He does storyboards. He did storyboards for Tropic Thunder and for Logan.
What?
Nice.
Yeah. So like the story itself is heavy on the visual cues. It's just a visually like stunning story.
Okay.
But like it's a kind of standard horror story, but like it works.
But
You
it
know,
looks awesome.
It looks awesome, and like you're like this is such like a horror like tales to tell by the campfire kind of thing, but you're seeing it instead.
Nice.
Bats
Oh, there you go. A little
Bat
mini
people.
review
Yeah.
for the Belfry.
for the indie people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do this every once in a while.
All right. Well,
Not really.
we'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, let's get into books that are coming out this week that we're recommending for you.
The book I'm recommending this week is Green Arrow number 18, written by Ben Percy with art by Eleonora Carlini. I'm not as big of a Green Arrow fan, but the fact that you've got Oliver Queen reuniting with Roy Harper, who apparently used to be Speedy but is now Arsenal, is cool. I like the idea that you've got a reunion with characters, that there's going to be a gap that has to be bridged, that there's going to be some tears and some fighting, but hopefully, some bonding over that. So I think that's cool. I like it.
Okay, this is another big week for me. Let's go right over to Marvel, kick it off with Doctor Strange number 18, written by Jason Aaron with art by Chris Bachalo for at least the rest of this arc. With issue 21, we're getting a new team. I'm like, but I can't wait to see the end of this arc. This is Aaron's creation for a villain. I can't wait to see where this is going to go. I love where they left it off last week. I love how they're getting to Strange through his past as being a neurosurgeon. It's awesome. And Thor's involved. I don't know, I'm like, I guess Thor knows something about this to some degree, had cancer, and I don't know. So I can't wait to see how they're going to tie these two together. He is writing for Thor right now, so I think that's a really good fit, and it's awesome. Also from Marvel this week, Champions number 6 is coming out. In the Champions Monsters Unleashed tie-in kind of thing, we met the freelancers who are going to be a problem, or an ongoing problem, or at least in this book, for the Champions themselves. It's another young team. I already kind of like some of them. They're fun, they're moody, they're kind of, but I think it's a really good fit to have to face the Champions, and I'm hoping we see a little, like, come on board, now you're a part of us. I'm looking at you, Crush. I like you a lot. And then, hey, who wants some indie? I do. Rat Queens number 1. Yeah, we're doing that now. It's coming out. So this is all new story arc for the Rat Queens, but it's going to be Rat Queens number 1. So now I have this Rat Queens number 1 and the old Rat Queens number 1. And that'll be fun when you're looking for it. Still written by Curtis Weeb. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. With art by Owen Gianni. So we are continuing the same story, sort of, kind of. But different artists. There was some crazy stuff that happened with that. But they're back, and I'm very excited for that. Also, just real quick, just want to give a shout out to Extremity number 1. Looks pretty cool. They're calling it Mad Max with a Studio Ghibli feel. Yeah. And then one other thing. Just Complete Tales from the Con trade paperback is coming out, so I want to give a little shout out to webcomic artist Brad Geiger, who is a part of this team. Brad's been around forever doing webcomics. He's a good guy, a lot of fun to talk to, so I got to give a shout out to him for this.
The big 2 books that I'm doing this week are from DC Comics, and they are Batman number 18 from Tom King and David Finch. It's, I think, the wrap-up of the I Am Bane arc. It's Bane versus Batman. And you know what? I have been kind of not interested in this series for the last arc, but these last 2 issues have been kind of interesting. And the most recent last issue, I think number 17, was kind of cool, dare I say. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all wraps up. And then, of course, Superman number 18 from Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, with art by Mick Gray. And damn, I love this series, and I think it's going to be a new kind of jumping on point for a lot of readers in case you have already not jumped on to Superman, in which case, shame on you. It's one of the best titles that DC's putting out, and that's saying a lot, because I used to be a Marvel guy, and now I've just getting pulled over to the blue. Who knows what'll happen in the next year or so. But anyway, pick up those 2 books, because they're going to be, well, at least one of them's going to be phenomenal, and the other one's going to be, well, let's see what happens. There you have it, everybody. Those are all the books that are fit to print, as far as we were concerned anyway. And we'll see you guys next week with another episode Off the Rack. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Keep reading.
And go to Emerald City Comic-Con!
That's right. We will see you there. Well, we will, but
so.
he won't, but next time.
I'm gonna hold the fort down.
Yeah, you hold down the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Ben's gonna, so if you want to...
I'm gonna guard the base!
Yeah, you stay and guard the base, Bumblebee!
That's right.
And if you're in Morris County, New Jersey, go look for him.
Don't do that.
See you later.